Like to call to order the Monona Community Media Committee, our meeting of February 8th, 2024. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of our January 18th meeting? Will someone please move to?
There, but I'll
minutes?
move them.
Katie's gonna move.
I
Do I have
wasn't
a
there.
second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Are there any changes or corrections, anything that we need to update? All right, hearing none, all in favor of adopting the minutes, say aye.
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 Minutes are approved. Next on our agenda, any appearances? I don't believe we have any, right? Let's move on then to some ongoing business, right? The newsletter and Monona Go. And the poster that Lois shared with us last time, we're going to talk about that under the next section. However, Lois, I think you have to get out early, right? You have a time crunch, a schedule conflict tonight?
Yes, sorry,
Okay.
there's kind of fans around me. I'm in a hallway.
Okay.
I have to leave at like 5:35-ish.
Okay. So,
You're literally on the other side of the wall as me.
I am actually in Van Vleck, down on campus, but
Oh,
so I'm going to go ahead and move that we take this agenda item out of order. Is there a second?
second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and we're gonna then move this up. We're gonna talk about new business first, the Monona East Side Business Alliance, the Monona Guide advertisement. So the Monona Guide is a magazine style publication that MESBA puts out. If I'm not mistaken, last I heard, it reaches around 8,000 to 9,000 print. It prints that about that many. It goes to a lot of businesses, it's delivered, but it's also sort of available to pick up when you see them. And we want to have a one-page ad in the Monona Guide, which is essentially the poster that Lois has been working on. We've all seen that last time. So the goal here tonight is to finalize that and get it in the magazine. We can also have that posted around town if we care to. But for now, I think there's a crunch and Will would just like to use that for our magazine submission. So a couple of things to think about. In the packet, there were a few different layouts, some slight iterations on that poster. And then below those layouts, Will had included the verbiage that we might use on the poster. Something that's just sort of, just so you know, the verbiage on the poster is in the very final document. But so really right now, what we're talking about is just the three different layouts, which really the changes are, the header and the footer for the most part. So, unless I'm missing something, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that the header and the footer are kind of what's different about each of them.
yes.
Yeah,
Oops.
excellent.
I made a few updates after I sent it. Most I can show you. I only did it on one, and I put in the text that Will wrote. And then I can add those to whatever one we like. But so I don't know if you can see that very well.
I
but
can, yeah.
The subscribe, listen, watch, all of those were changed to blue, a lighter blue, and put on the side so they stand out a little bit more. And then obviously we've got the prevention of so it won't bleed on the side there, and then the header and footer. But yeah, so whatever one we want, we can add those changes to and make that the one we go with.
So Lois, on the third iteration there, I see that the MGAV and the Monona Go are flipped.
Yes.
You put them the left or right column, and it doesn't matter. I just was wondering, is it because you're using Will's text and the text was a little longer, or?
Yes, WVMO and Monona Go had the longest text of both of them, so I switched it so that they have the most space.
That's what I thought. So they line up sort of vertically and horizontally from one another. Yeah. Okay. Great. So at this point, it really is, so I think the center of that poster, the quadrants in the middle are going to remain the same. It's just really the header and the footer that we're discussing. Is that,
Yes.
yeah, okay. I mean, there certainly can be tweaks to the text. Don't get me wrong. There certainly can be tweaks to the text, but Susan, did you have a question?
But yeah, on one of the ones I had printed out, again, I think this is great. I think it's a great attention grabber. Under the MGAV, on the one that said keeping you connected wherever, whenever, which is kind of the one I like, it says, stay up to date on events happening in the school district, and that's not spelled, it's DISCRICT.
Yes.
And then ROT, broadcasts of your students by your students.
So
So,
Susan, before you go on any further, let me save you. So what you're
Okay.
going to want to do is you're going to want to keep scrolling all the way down the packet to the very last page, because the very last page is the new
Okay.
proposed text. So under Monona MGAV, the word district isn't even included.
okay,
Yeah. So,
so,
maybe we
would-
start with the text. Maybe we start there and we'll
well,
circle
and
back
again,
to the
maybe,
graphics.
so, again, sorry, I thought there were 3 different ones, so I wasn't looking at the last one.
Yeah.
But, the rationale for not using district with school would be, because first of all, if you say district, you include all the schools
Right.
in the district, because the kids go out into all the schools, and we have, 3 in Monona and, and MG21, they have a whole bunch of schools out in
Yeah.
Cottage Grove. This way, the one I'm looking at just says school, even if you put schools, but
So,
how do you know that's not Madison and
So I just want
McFarland?
to, so
Because
before we
the-
discuss, I just want to make sure, are we all looking at the last document? No pictures, just text. That's the only document that really matters. We'll go
Okay.
back to the posters and the graphics.
So
but can I
on
just
this
stop,
one,
Susan? Can I stop you? for
And
a
then
second?
we'll go
Yeah,
ahead.
Because I
Will.
think we're talking about 2 different YouTube channels, and that's what we're getting. This YouTube channel that we're referencing as the AV Club is only announcements. The only thing on this thing that she is promoting right now, the MGAV, is high school announcements. That's it. We have 2 different channels, and we had to make a whole new YouTube channel just for the announcements for high school. And that's what that is. It's not the main big YouTube page with all our
Yeah.
stuff on it.
Will, I wonder if that would be helpful to spell it out for people like me who wouldn't have understood that unless I really thought about it. But does it make sense to just say, this is a YouTube channel? This is, internal announcements
I
at the
think the
high
whole point
school.
is when they click on that QR code, they're gonna see it, right?
You could think about it that way. I'm thinking about like the My Monona, the second paragraph comes right out and says, this is a newsletter. Right?
Right.
The third paragraph, this is a mobile app. What is it? And we, the first, it's a radio station. Yeah, go ahead, Katie.
I also just wonder if maybe stay informed about events could just be clarified, because so many people are used to the concerts and meetings and all those things, that maybe stay informed, but not about events. Like just stay informed about the high school, or keep in touch with, I don't know, something else besides talking about events. Because I do think that's what signals people to think of like what Susan's talking about, right? Where we're thinking of all the things that students are participating in, sports and all those things. And just because it does say like with daily broadcasts produced by that AV Club, but just being really more explicit. I don't know if it has to say YouTube or if it's just more explicit about its school announcements.
School announcements is a phrase that makes sense to me. Yeah, events, I would think, oh, is this
You
where I
could
can
just say,
watch?
stay informed with high school announcements. With daily high school announcements produced by,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm just gonna put that on the sheet here if everyone's on it.
I'm only looking at the static packet. Is there a live Google document that we can all
That's
click
what
into?
that's what that.
Oh, yes, that's right. You emailed that. Sorry. Yes.
No problem.
Okay.
Also, purely because I cannot be here for the entire time. If we could talk about the designs, I can always add whatever text you want to change. That would be great because that way I know exactly what.
Sorry, Lois.
Good call.
Absolutely.
worries.
My bad. Sorry. Yes, you need to go early. We'll get back to the text. Let's approve one of
Yes.
the, let's
Alright, should
approve one
I-
of the designs so Lois can go.
Should I share my screen so that we can see the designs full?
Sure.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Oops, wrong click. Stand by.
Thanks for that reminder, Lois. Sorry about that.
Sorry about the inconvenience of time.
No, no, my goodness, no, no.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. I am gonna just say right off the bat my thoughts, and then people can
Yep.
say yay or nay. This is my favorite right here,
Mm-hmm.
this one. I like this in the know on the go. I like that verbiage. But keep up with Monona, and then these other ones, keep up with Monona, keeping you connected. We just got a lot of keep.
Yep.
And so I like the idea that we broke it up and we said keep up with Monona, and then the bottom it's something different.
Mhm.
Anyhow, that's my thought. I'm open.
And also, sorry, Will.
Yeah.
If we love the keeping you connected, we could always say keeping up or like keeping you connected with Monona. That's a little more wordy, but if you really like that text, we can always add that into the top of the in the know on the go header.
Good point.
Any other thoughts about the third design?
Teresa?
I just
Yeah.
have one question.
Sure, Bill.
And I'm only raising this because I think it would be a pretty easy thing to do, but
Mhm.
on the Monona Go logo, the letters that you have like the two-tone
Yeah.
and you got the light blue to distinguish the G and the O. Did you try it the reverse way of having the GO be the dark blue and the MNNA be light blue?
I did not. Also, sorry if you can't hear me well. I did not, but the main reason we kept it as the G and the O as the lighter color was because, as we've been talking about, that was one of the harder colors to see if you have vision issues, I think is the comment that was made. So I can put together one of those and send it out to everybody if you want to see it that way. But yeah, I'm good with whatever.
Only if it would be quick and easy to do. And the only reason I suggest it is because the dark letters are what draws my attention first, and I'm not seeing the go jumping out. I love the two-tone concept. I think that's a really solid approach to take here, and just wonder if doing the exact opposite of the colors would make it more readable or noticeable.
You could also take that and I'll add my opinion now that we're thinking about it. Take the G that we currently have and just get rid of that shaded part and just have it be open. So it's literally just a G.
So it looks more like a G.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like just leave everything the way it is, but just make the G and the O look more like, yeah.
Just take that shaded part.
I don't
Yeah.
follow.
The G.
Will, I can't see very well on my little phone screen, but I'm not following what you're saying the shading is that you wanted to.
So you can see
change
the
or do.
outline of the G because she has kind of
Yeah.
the G outline, and then where the G is cut, like it would keep going if
Yeah.
it was no.
Oh, yeah,
Still shaded
I'm
there.
seeing that now.
Just take that shaded out and it'll make that G
So
stand
it
out.
looks more like a G, yeah.
That might help. Yeah, that might help. Yep.
So I have it flipped. I don't know if you can see my screen now, but
I can stop sharing and
Yeah. That looks
that's
like
it
a go.
flipped.
Yeah.
And then I can also show you the other way, but
And then
the
Katie, you had a
Gs.
question?
Yeah, I completely appreciate the reasoning there. My only concern is, and maybe it's okay, but that the district is so often referred to as MG, and that's what it looks like to me. It looks like MG Nona, which doesn't make sense. So that's the only, and maybe that's just because I'm so school focused, that's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like that to me in the original, but if no one else is seeing it, I'm okay with keeping it the way it is.
No, I get that, and I mean, also I have the school focus as well, but I don't mind the Go being a little bit more subtle because later in the text you have Monona Go app. So if people start even reading it or get engaged by the logo, they'll figure out where they're going. But if people really like this version better, I'm totally good with that.
Katie, when when the G and the O were light, did you feel that there was an issue? But okay. Okay.
I didn't see it until it was flipped, but again, like that, maybe that's just the perspective that I'm bringing, and that's okay. I don't feel strongly about it.
Maybe the hybrid solution is to go with leave the colors the way they were, but just make the G look more like a G, the way that Will was suggesting. I have to say though, it really does, the Go pops for sure. Like when the letters are flipped, I see the Go a lot more than I used to.
mhm.
Kind of
Well,
like
that was,
I kind of like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can
And
you
maybe
also
if-
do Will's change with the color flip? So we've got the dark
Yeah.
GO and take the shading away like Will
Yeah,
said.
it really pops. Yeah, the letter, the Go, Monona Go. Yeah. Does anyone else see the MG? Do you think that that's a concern, or? I can see, Katie, why you would feel that way though, because you live and breathe MG. That's what, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
So Katie, I'm interested, do you like the more light or the dark? Basically, when I'm looking at these sitting back with the dark, I see Monona and I see it right away. With the light, it tends to blur together. What you do see is the Go.
yeah,
If what you want to see is the Go, that's what you want, that's what you get.
the one on the top, you see the Go.
That's
Yeah,
correct. If
yeah.
you want to see Monona, which is
Yeah.
what this seems to be about,
Mm,
the second one, I mean, just sit back and look at them from a distance,
that's true.
and the light seems to blend in to the white more.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the only reason I do like the Go piece showing up more,
yeah, but not too much.
but I like the Monona piece.
Yeah. And also, Susan, I can see where a person might look at the designs on the top and they might even say, oh, Go Monona. Because the Go,
Mm.
the Go is what leads, I think. That's,
Yeah.
So, yeah, whereas on the bottom, I think you're right. The Monona is what seems to be leading. Yeah. So interesting how little changes like that can make a difference.
There's pluses and minuses both ways. Since this is
Sure.
a Madison and a Monona publication, then that would be a reason you want to emphasize Monona. But if you want to get people's attention that this is Go, then yeah, I mean, either way is fine. It's not a huge issue. I was just curious to see what the effect would be.
Yeah. But I think we're all in agreement that the G is better when it looks more like a G. I think we're all at least agreeing on
Yeah.
that. Right? Yeah.
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 I guess I'll throw in my thought that and I have more knowledge about this just because of the other project we're working on, but I feel like the light blue is more of an accent color than the darker blue. So I guess I'm in favor of the darker blue being the primary color, just because we did do some, I guess everyone will find this out in a little bit, but we did check the blue against some colors, and it's not an accessible color, which was not a surprise. So it's okay with the outlines, but it makes me feel like we should be using it as an accent only for the most part, and using the darker blue more prominently.
So the bottom design.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Well, and let me just add, because I know Lois has to go. Again, this is really great, and I can't thank you enough. Just my thought is I like the keeping you connected wherever, whenever.
So back to the overall poster. Okay.
That for the bottom, and one of the reasons is, we all grew up with this, and I vividly remember there was a school board meeting on, and all of a sudden 3 of us showed up in effectively our pajamas because they were broadcast. This was years ago. They were broadcasting the school board meeting, and all of a sudden they were talking about busing, and it was something, and there wasn't any way to communicate except to go to the meeting. And then at the St. Mary's kind of daycare center, they played WVMO. In the Know on the Go. Here we are, connect with us, be a part of us. We're going to keep you connected with us and with all the things that we want to bring to you. We're the best kept secret, It's just, I like that one better, but I like them both. So I'm fine with either one.
So Susan, is it the word connect that you're really drawn to?
Yes.
Well, one thing we could do is we could say keeping you connected, comma, Monona, wherever, whenever. So it is a sentence, but it still draws you the keeping you connected wherever, whenever.
I like it just the
What
way it is. I mean,
Well, as the header on the in the know on the go, if you want it that way.
What about
Sorry, Teresa.
what about what Will said? There's a lot of keep. We use the word keep twice. What about just say connect with Monona? You could do that too.
oh,
So
okay.
what I was saying is
Because
on
then
the third
Susan likes
one,
the connect part, and then Will, we don't have too much of the keep. Just like, is that a compromise? I don't know.
Good idea.
the other thing I was saying is that on that third poster where it doesn't say keeping you connected on the bottom, and we put it at the top. So you say keeping you connected, Monona, wherever, whenever, and on the bottom it says in the know, on the go. Well, you can also do the connect with
Connect with
Monona at the
Monona,
top.
wherever, whenever, in the know on the go. Yeah.
So essentially up here, you would say, keeping you connected with Monona, wherever, whenever.
Mhm. Or we could say connect with Monona, wherever, whenever.
Does
I have a
everyone
slight
like,
preference for keeping. I like the last one. Sorry to interrupt you, Teresa.
the last one? Okay.
I just was gonna say,
Keep
I
up
like
with Monona?
keeping you connected slightly better, mostly because it's passive for the viewer, right? Like if we're saying connect with Monona, they have to take an action. And this is like, they do have to take an action, but we're saying it's after that, we're gonna do the work for you. You're not doing it.
That's interesting, because that's what I want. I wanted them to take action. But are you saying that the passive is a little more, I don't know.
All you have to do is
Friendly.
sign up for the newsletter, and
And you will
keep
be
you
connected.
We'll
Got it.
yes,
Got it.
it's the second part of it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do we like keeping you connected with, or just keeping you connected, Monona?
I like the with.
Okay.
With
Keeping you connected with Monona whenever. And it's also, when you put it in that language, it also is sort of like a recognition of all that the community media folks do to keep you connected. You know, instead of saying
Yeah.
connect. All right. Does the third poster seems to be where people are landing.
Yep.
Does anyone feel that what about the spacing? I know it's important to have adequate white space and blank space. Does anyone, I wondered about the very bottom in the no on the go. Should that be smaller? Should it be one line? Would that free up white space at the top?
I think it looks good. I think it's got good visual balance. And if it's not out of order, now that I'm looking at this again, I want to make one last pitch for the GO to be dark and the MNNA to be light, because I wasn't seeing before that Monona is the main word at the top of the poster. So we already know it's Monona. And so the first thing you look at when you see Go Monona should be Go.
Oh, I see.
Well, it's interesting when you look at that, because when I look at it with the M and the N and the NA dark, I see the Go right away. That's the one that I
Do you?
see. Yeah.
When the
It's-
go is light, you see the
Yeah.
go right away?
Absolutely.
That is
It does
interesting.
stand
I
out
had the
more.
exact opposite.
Just
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
look, different approach. That's what makes us a good team here.
Right.
The GO will stand out more in the poster because we use the darker blue in most of the other logos other than MGAV, which is predominantly the lighter blue color. So the Go pops a little more in comparison to the darker text.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I mean, I'm looking at this on a little 2-inch telephone. When this is a poster hanging somewhere, none of this is going to make any difference. It's all going to be really obvious. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Does
What
anyone
time
else
you gotta
have-
go, Lois?
In like 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
In 45 minutes? Oh, 4 to
No,
5.
4 to
4
5,
to
yeah.
5.
That makes sense. Gotcha.
What do people think, is it just me, or what do people think about the size of the MGAV logo as compared to the size of the other 3 logos? Is that okay with everyone?
Can I give my opinion on that really quick?
What's that?
Can I give my opinion on that one really quick?
Please do.
That one's hard because it's so short. All the others you can make like longer width-wise, but MGAV is shorter. So to get it to like kind of be in the realm of like, it's obviously a title, it has to be a little bit bigger. So it's not just like tiny width-wise. It has to be a little bigger than the others.
It has to be taller because you
Mhm.
want it to be as wide as the column, which means it needs to be taller. Okay. Yeah. Lois, have you tried, I also think that after Lois puts Will's text or the text that we're about to review, after she puts it in there, there's gonna have to be some executive decisions also. But I think we made, and by that I mean Lois and Will can decide without this decision by committee. But I think we're all kind of landing on the third design. We landed on keeping you connected with Monona. We landed on the light go. The go would be in light blue. Did I understand that correctly?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Sweet.
I would say, okay, because I'm gonna have to leave soon.
Okay.
The biggest one, the biggest disproportion in the text is MGAV. That if we could have a little bit more to add to that, just so it kind of fills out the space a little bit, that
Okay.
would be great.
Okay,
Obviously, we don't need to be so wordy that it's incomprehensible, but also just enough to like make it fill that white space a little bit more
okay.
and fit in with the
More
others.
words.
On the
Um,
little more wording on the MGAV.
Yep. All the others are great. If we can slim down WVMO or MG or like Monona Go, that would be great.
Yeah, we can
But
take
those
out
are fine.
we can take out the community-owned, locally programmed, and volunteer-driven. We can take that out and just put the official 24-hour voice. And
Yeah.
then add in, stay informed about events at the high school with streaming or streaming live on YouTube, produced by I don't know, get that YouTube in that we wanted as well. And
Yeah, that sounds great. Whatever you come up with, I'll throw in here and get it sent out to you tomorrow, Will. Or tonight. I'll do that tonight.
Well, it can be tomorrow. No. It can be tomorrow.
Okay.
Don't stress out.
Yeah, so if there's not any other comments on the design, I'm probably gonna head out and get to class, but
Great job on this. It really
Yes.
looks good. Thank you so
It's
much.
it is really awesome. I love it.
thank you.
so I think we've moved on to
See you,
the,
Lois.
See you later, bye.
so I think we've moved on to the, open for discussion on the text. Will offered some suggestions for how to shorten the text for the VMO quadrant.
Are you seeing the script now?
I am. The official 24-hour voice of Monona. Providing a space for diverse, creative, hyper-local programming, featuring an eclectic mix of music shows complemented by a base of Americana music. Eclectic mix of music, mix.
Yeah, this isn't necessarily
Yeah,
making
eclectic
me feel good,
mix.
but
Featuring an eclectic mix of
Could you do hyper-local programming, comma, an eclectic mix of music,
complement.
comma, and a base of Americana? Or I guess you don't have to say both eclectic and Americana. That's the Americana is part of the eclectic mix. So programming, comma, and an eclectic mix of music shows.
okay, there you go.
Bill, you've got a knack for writing. I don't know where that comes from, but that's good.
I have a knack for slashing. If you tell me you need to lose
How many
25
years as an
words here,
editor, how many
I'm-
years as a newspaper editor? Yeah, exactly. Shorten it up.
I'm there
Yeah.
for you.
Eclectic mix of music shows kind of based on Americana. Do we need to say the word music twice in the last phrase? An eclectic mix of music shows complemented with by a base of America. Yeah. You know, we're worrying about things that people are gonna look at for a minute. News or I'm worrying about.
I would, if I could chime in, I don't even know that like the Americana format is necessarily something we have to point out. If it just said, and an eclectic mix of music shows, period,
Yeah,
to me, that would be fine. I don't know that, if people want to find out about the station and what we play, they can delve into it, but this would just let them know that we've got local information and we've got an eclectic mix of music. To me, that's enough. So there's my 2 cents.
I agree.
I would
I
too.
think you nailed it.
I would too.
Yep.
Yeah.
It might only be radio insiders and music insiders who even know what the Americana format is.
Mhm.
If nobody told me, or if I had never heard it and I guessed, I probably would have guessed it was something else. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
I might add this back in then, and everybody can tell me no, but we have room.
As long as you, keep those lowercase, locally programmed, volunteer driven. The official 24, yeah. Voice of
think that-
Monona.
Pardon me, I think that's great, Will, just because that is kind of the original tagline for the station, so that's consistent with our branding over the last almost 10 years. I think it looks wonderful.
Yep. I like it. Are we all good with the phrase about the newsletter? There's not much right there. That seems pretty straightforward. People know it's a newsletter, it's in your inbox. Monona Go. I would like.
So
under
this
the-
is, Teresa, this is super picky, but I think maybe you asked about the newsletter. It would be better phrased, sent directly to your email inbox the third Wednesday of every month.
Okay. Very good. When it comes to the Monona Go section, I would only ask that we come right out and call it a mobile app.
Can I take you back to the newsletter language? And again, Bill and Joe, I look to you guys for this help, but we say the latest news and information from the city of Monona, and that just seems like a lot of words. You could say City of Monona latest news and information sent directly to your email box the third Wednesday of the month.
Do we need to shorten this section of the
If
post?
we don't, just leave it.
Yeah, if we do, that's a wonderful way to accomplish that. Let me ask everyone, I mean, I work in IT, so the word app to me is more than just something you put on a mobile phone. I don't know if everyone thinks that way, but you know, I feel like there's something here that needs to be connected to our smartphones, like some explanation. Easy access to your favorite high school sports, concerts, meetings, feature videos.
And so is there
From
something
your
in here that you're
from your
saying doesn't?
smartphone, or what's that?
I just didn't know if there was something in here that you think doesn't work, or if you want to add something to what is here.
I just would like the word mobile app to be, instead
Okay.
of video app, I would be like a mobile app, like a phone app or something that.
Okay,
Yeah.
then how about gain easy access to videos of your favorite high school, blah, 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 and then download the Monona Go mobile app?
Sure. On a mobile app, or like easy access to your, easy.
Or mobile access, gain mobile access.
Mobile
to your
access,
favorite high
yeah,
school.
mobile phone, or whatever, yeah.
Okay, I lost it. I was trying
Or,
Will, it's gain easy access to videos of, just insert that before your videos, plural.
oh, yes. Yeah. Of your,
Videos of your, yep. And then to the second sentence, download the Monona Go mobile and then delete the word video. So it says mobile app today. I think that was the gist of it. Did I get that wrong? Anybody else have a different take?
I'm good with that. I think we could even shorten it more if we're wanting to shorten it. You could just say.
You could delete gain at the beginning and just say easy access.
Easy access to videos of high school sporting events, concerts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You don't have to say your favorite, because I don't know. There's some city stuff that I don't know if that would be people's favorite stuff, but yeah. Easy access. So like, I think the suggestion was to remove the word gain. Easy, and just start with the word easy. Concerts, city government meetings, and a bevy of featured. Oh, well, here we use the word video again.
I'd be willing to toss Bevy overboard too if you need more
The city
space.
government meetings on your mobile. Yeah, whatever.
City government meetings and feature videos. Yep.
Or just and more, because we say.
And
access to
more, because we already
videos.
say the word video. Yeah, just say and more. Yeah, and more. Download
Oh, right.
the mobile app today.
And
Yeah,
more.
that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. That's good. Okay. I like the idea of removing the word gain and starting just with the word easy. Yeah. Okay. And then the AV club. How about we just say,
Can I
go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
just a quick question on Monona Go? I don't remember the consistency of the style between all the different things we've done, but do we always capitalize the O in Go? So
No,
like Monona, capital G-O, or should that
G-O?
be okay,
Ah,
okay.
do we?
nope.
Okay.
I mean, usually it's all caps, so I
Yeah.
never noticed one way or the other before, but if we're gonna go up and down, then I just wanted to make sure that was the same as whatever else we've been doing.
As far as the MGAV, you could even take out the state informed with. And
Yep.
just see daily
Yep.
high school announcements, streaming live on YouTube, provides blah, 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 blah. Yeah. The only
Yeah, I
problem with
agree.
all this, I mean, we're shortening it, which is good, but then the WVMO part remains kind of long. But the time
Well, we
is
could say community owned
5:40.
locally. We could say community owned, locally programmed.
Could I jump in, Will?
Don't do that.
It's
How about-
debatable whether we're volunteer driven anymore.
If I could jump in, how about we just the official 24-hour voice of Monona providing diverse, creative, hyper-local programming,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
To take out a space for and I mean I don't even know if diverse is necessary, but
Well, that's good. I like that. That's good.
now it's 2 lines long, not 3 lines long, so it balances.
That's a good edit. I like that.
You could even take out the word providing. You could just say the 24-hour voice of Monona, period, diverse, creative, hyperlocal programming, if you needed. Like I said, I think we can allow the final, once the poster, just you might need to take out a word or add a word, just the way the poster falls when you change the wording. Is there any more changes to any of the text? Or should we move on to the rest of the agenda? All right. Is everyone okay?
I'm gonna do one thing just to see
Okay.
how it lands, because this is the biggest one and it will somewhat stick out.
Oh, but you don't want to change that, do you?
I
Okay,
don't know. It's not really, it's semi-truthful,
yeah,
just looking at it.
okay. That's kind of like your thing. That's the
That was, yes, that
phrase.
was what was sold. But it's never really totally been the case.
Oh, you've got a lot of volunteers. You know what, Will? I would like to see you leave that in there just because of all the people that help out and make this possible who are not earning anything. That's just a nice little recognition. That's nice, yeah. I'd like to move on to the next item on the agenda just because it is 5:45 and I know we want to respect people's time. So what that means is get my screen here. Oh, why am I not? Here we go, back up to the agenda. We're gonna go on then to newsletter updates. And Amanda did some wonderful research running our newsletter through accessibility apps to make sure that viewers with low vision, you know, for example, making sure that we're using fonts and colors that are accessible to everyone. And Amanda, would you like to share a little bit about what you found?
Sure. So I primarily just looked at the light blue that we were just talking about, and I ran it through. I just found 3 websites. I've never used any of them professionally, but 2 of the 3 we failed, and one had like a very poor result. So what this is regards to is that throughout the newsletter, for sure on every newsletter on the top, we have 2 light blue buttons that we use white blue text on. And we also have in the past done a similar button throughout the newsletter. That is the combination that is failing, the light blue button with white text on top. So we may want to, you know, consider maybe even like immediately for February changing the colors of that, because if someone has eyesight impairments that they're somewhat colorblind, they won't be able to read what the buttons say. So that's kind of why I was making the comments earlier about using the lighter blue as a more of like a graphic element, like a border, for example. The person doesn't, it looks nice, but they don't need to see that to get the information they need.
Got it. Would anyone be opposed to just allowing our newsletter team to choose whatever darker shade of blue they think is appropriate? Are we at the point now where, I mean, I know we talked about changing more than just the color on those buttons, like changing the heading to, you know, something else, which I would love to see. But for the time being, I think the concern is that we may have folks that are struggling to see that button. And so the color change would not necessarily be where it must always be.
Like a simple change would be just swapping the light blue for the dark blue. Something like that would be probably the easiest change. I know that there was maybe some comments that there's possibly a new city website coming at some point. So I don't know if it's worth, we shouldn't, I feel like from professional experience that I've had, we shouldn't try to change the way things look too frequently or at similar times.
I agree.
So I don't know if we want to try to make those things happen around a similar time and just make the changes we need to now.
Did you try it with a black label on the button instead of white?
I did not.
Blue? I mean, I wonder if changing the color of the label would be another option.
I would think that would pass. I think it would maybe not look so good.
Okay.
That's my gut reaction to that.
Yeah.
But we could probably do that as an option as well.
I mean, I have no problem, Amanda, you doing what you think looks good and works. I agree. I don't think we need to beat this up, especially since the website's going to change late spring.
But of course, we trust that Amanda's going to choose a color that's already within the color scheme and it's consistent and it's not like, you know, purple. But Katie, you had a question?
I just pulled up the Monona website and noticed that even on some of the bubbles that the city uses, they're not even using that light blue color either. Some of them are in some images and some aren't. Like the waves image is not the blue. It's like different shades of translucencies of blue. So, but whatever, I mean, as long as the color values aren't changing for the website, whatever the design changes, if they're not changing the color values, I would support Amanda just choosing the one that's accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say even the new website isn't going to all of a sudden have new colors. We're keeping the same color scheme.
Yeah.
So
Well, the logo of the city.
I sent out earlier, Amanda, to you with the color values. That's not going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also probably worth noting that, like, I haven't confirmed that the city's light blue and the one that just happens to be in the built out template are the same either, or even the one in this Lois's document. I don't know if we know those are all the same X color.
I think they're slightly different, yeah.
I have a question about the newsletter. I don't know what template or client you use or whatever it is to format it, but do you know whether it looks the same to the recipient regardless of what email program they have or that they use? Because when I did our newsletter at UW, we discovered that it looked different in Outlook than it looked in Yahoo or Google or whatever else. And it affected the fonts and the headlines and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we use Constant Contact. I'm sure it does have some sort of preview feature. They usually do where you can see that. We have not been doing that. But I could look at it when I build the February newsletter.
Yeah, let's do that.
The other thing,
It
I
would be
mean,
interesting
usually
to
the
know.
preview,
It would
go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, why don't we, Bill, finish
It
up?
would be
and you-
interesting to know because we designed this in a format that was like a proprietary thing that university marketing did for us. So they created our HTML newsletter template, which the web developer said he is never going to do again because there are too many variables to try to get it consistent across platforms. I think they were trying to reinvent what Constant Contact and MailChimp and everybody else already figured out how to do. So maybe those third-party applications are fine.
Yeah.
You would
But
think
ours,
so,
we
right?
had
They
this
want everybody to buy it.
template, and we had a template that we assumed was what everybody was seeing when they got it, and then start realizing that it's different for everybody. And if you forward it from one
Yeah.
email program to
Yeah.
another, then it's a whole nother cascade of changes. It's just zany.
Yep,
We use Constant Contact as a school district for newsletters. The only preview that I'm aware of is just like mobile versus desktop.
right.
And it doesn't tell you like versus each provider. And I think the only way to avoid what Bill is saying is a lot of times you'll see, and I don't know, Amanda, you may know if we do this, is to say like, for best results, we recommend opening this in a browser at the very top and it links to what you really want it to look like. Whether or not people do that or look at it, but you're
Right.
offering it at least. But I think that's the only way to get around that.
That would be,
Yeah.
The good news either way is that we know the newsletter is having really good engagement. So I would say it's definitely getting delivered and functioning because we wouldn't have those engagement rates if that wasn't the case.
Well, yeah, that's the important thing. That's much more important than what it looks like.
so here's a theme that I just heard. Tell me if I misunderstood. What I'm hearing is we should probably figure out if the city will be changing its website before we change the look and feel of the newsletter too much, or is that not what I'm hearing?
I think that'd be ideal state. Also, it'd be interesting if they're concerned about the light blue at all too, just so. I mean, so it looks cohesive. Like we're gonna make some changes that'll make the newsletter look a little bit more heavy in the dark blue. And if the city's not gonna do that as well, not saying it's not worth it. We definitely want to accommodate people, but it would look different potentially.
Yeah, the website won't be going more to a light blue look, or it's gonna stay very similar. I mean, these templates that Civic Plus has, who makes these websites, it's not like all of a sudden our website's gonna look totally different.
Right,
The banner is gonna be a little thinner. It's gonna say Monona, Wisconsin, instead of having the logo there. The search bar is gonna go all the way across the top. And other than that, everything's gonna be pretty similar. New pictures for the background.
okay,
Otherwise, very similar. The color scheme is the color scheme because that's our logo. But I agree, we should just do them both at once instead of, like Amanda suggested, having a new newsletter and then a month later a new website, and just
Yeah.
makes sense to do them all, kind of brand them and package it all at once around the same time. Which should be, I think March is we're having our next meeting, so we'll be a lot closer then.
nice. Any other things someone wants to add about the newsletter? So today is the 8th of February. The newsletter comes out the 3rd. Thursday, is that what so
Wednesday.
I guess that means Anita's gonna be sending out her request for information.
Tonight, yeah, tonight I'll send that out.
Tonight, yeah, perfect, 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 okay. Wonderful. So it is almost 6 o'clock. Let's just really quickly talk about Monona Go, the phone app, mobile app. We talked about some, small changes that people would like to see. If you have the ability to just go to the phone app right now and take a peek, and then maybe Amanda could even share some of the thoughts that she had, that she communicated to Will and I, just so that maybe you've already thought about it, but this will be a way for us to just start listing off some of the suggested changes.
Can I?
Or we start with Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't, this is picture us saving videos on a server and naming them. And then it all is on an Excel sheet and they export that Excel sheet to the app. That's it. We can't start putting folders within folders and renaming things and putting things here and having a header here. There's no control over that. I doubt they even have control over it for the price we're paying and for the form that they have.
So what we cannot,
we can't do anything, I guess is what I'm saying. The only thing we can do is relabel everything.
Change the name of the video. Okay, the file name.
But we can't do that without changing the name of the header. So the header and the name of the video have to be the same. So we have to say, so if it's common council or a city council meeting, the name of the video has to be city council meeting, and then
really?
That's how they match up, so they know which goes in what.
It's so repetitive. Okay.
I mean, I know we can go down the road of looking into our own app, but that's $10,000 easy. So I mean, we just don't really have, this is like a very cheap, inexpensive way to have our own app, and more so to just more touch points to the community. But we don't, I shut it down, but we just don't really have any options. There's nothing else we can really do. I will continue to ask them, and maybe they'll say, yeah, we're going to do an update because we've heard that this sucks. Because I definitely are letting them know our feedback, and I'm going to let them know Amanda's feedback, and we can certainly share Amanda's feedback. I'm not trying to stop that, but before we go down a rabbit hole, I just wanted to.
So Will, just so I understand, so if I'm looking at the phone app and I see the header Monona Grove School District Board meetings, what that means is that the name of each video also starts with those 6 words.
Or extremely similar. I'd have to look, I'll look at it myself, but you do saved searches and categories, and that's how it matches up with what needs to be in each category. So you can see Monona High School Orchestra concerts. It's Monona Grove Orchestra concert.
Sure.
So they have to, city council meeting, Monona Grove High School basketball, Monona Grove girls basketball. It's not exactly the same, and we can. In talking with Brennan, he tried to change it around, and it wouldn't match up. They wouldn't find each other, basically.
I wonder if it makes sense to see if anyone here would be interested in becoming part of a little work group that would meet outside of our meeting time and just sit down with Will or Brennan and together just work out whatever you think is best within the confines of the parameters that Will lays out.
I will say, if we are going to change things, it would also probably mean we need to change every single video title in the app already. Yeah. And that's hundreds of videos at this point. So I'm not against it. I just want everybody to understand how much resources we would take if we started playing with this app, and the already lack of options we have.
Yeah. Just the more videos we get, the more need we have to sort of organize them, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But we cannot create folders. We cannot separate school and city.
Well, we already are by doing school district, Monona Grove Orchestra concerts, but yeah, we can't have like a school district folder.
But for example,
city.
yeah, I'm saying like high school and then city council
No,
right next
yeah.
to each other.
We can't have like hierarchy of folders, no.
There's
Everything,
not even an alphabetical sort, like either,
no. They move around as whichever one got the most recent video in it goes to the top. And then
oh, so it's already
when it
doing
gets-
that. Okay,
So that's how it kind of populates.
so by number of hits, it goes to the top.
Right, like there was an
Okay.
orchestra concert last night.
Everybody's watching the concert. Okay,
We uploaded the
Right.
orchestra concert video, hence it's on top. The last
Got
thing
it.
before that was city council. The last thing before that was basketball. The
got
last
it,
thing before that was meetings.
got it. So then it's also then what I'm understanding, it's not possible to put the date in the name of the video. in
Not
any
before
way.
it.
Not,
not before
no, it, yeah,
It's got to be after it, like we're doing.
okay. One of the suggestions that Amanda said was since the very top of my screen on our phones, it already says City of Monona. Do we need to repeat that phrase? Monona, City of Monona. Could we just say high school? Could we just say, I don't know, school district? Yeah. All right. So, where does this leave us? Will, do you feel like it's better to just keep thinking this over based on the resources and the time that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what we would do, to be honest with you. It's not our software. We can't change it. We can give them feedback of what's not working or what we feel could be changed. But I mean, if they're not going to do anything, which I'm guessing it would be quite an investment for them to upgrade it. We just don't, I think it's a lost time right now for the things we could be doing for the city.
It wouldn't be so yes to that. And I don't think it's a bad idea to submit suggestions to
No,
the
absolutely not. And
creators
we
of
do.
this product. You know, they'll probably put them in a big database and when they
Right.
have time, they'll go through it and make changes as they can. Yeah. All right. So Amanda, all that, the nice list is not for nothing. We'll submit it to the app folks. And that takes us right to just a little after 6 o'clock. Will, did you have any reports, committee, anything at all that you needed to bring up to our attention?
No, we do have a city council candidate forum on March 9th, as well as a school board candidate forum that day as well. So we'll have the school board candidate forum from 10 to noon, and then the council candidate forum from 1 till 3. Maybe we will have a municipal judge forum from like 3:30 to 4:30, but right now there's only one write-in judge. So I'd say that's one of the bigger things. As you guys may or may not know, the city is going through referendum talks. So we're working on that number. And we will be working with Mueller Communications. Well, basically they want to start beginning of March. So we have to give them the big number then. And I assume we will, this department will assist in some way, though Mueller does most of the work. I would say those are the two big items. Joe, do you want to do a quick 3-minute WVMO?
Well, I don't even know if I need 3 minutes, but things are going great at the station. We do have a few new volunteers going. A new show that's come on in the last couple weeks, and we're looking forward to the Friends of WVMO is going to be having a meeting tonight, in about 45 minutes. There's going to be an election for the Friends of WVMO board tonight. There's going to be some turnover. The current president and vice president are both going to be stepping down. So I'm hopeful that we will have a couple of our newer volunteers stepping into those roles. But things are going good at the station, and looks like we're kind of gearing up for another year of events, starting with Vinylthon in April and all the things we do all through the summertime. So the friends are in pretty good shape, and once again, fingers crossed, we'll get a full board, including a couple we'll get a new president and vice president tonight. So that's my 2-minute VMO report.
It was less than 2 minutes, I think.
Leave it to a radio guy to keep it short and punchy. Nice job. I think that was what I was told. You need to have it more punchy. Okay, we'll keep it short. Is there anything else? Well, no. All right. Looking forward to the day when we can all be heading out to the beer garden after our meeting, right?
Katie,
So-
you raised your hand. I saw you.
I just wanted to add really quickly, I think everyone here knows that the superintendent of Monona Grove is retiring, and we're in full swing in the search process. I'll send this all to Anita, but there's a focus group schedule that's been released. We'll start sending dedicated invites out this week, and a survey will be available next week also, so that people can share the qualities and characteristics that they're looking for in the next leader for our district.
That's fantastic. I hope Dan has something really wonderful for his next step. Yeah. It's been great to have him. And Will, just to add to your point about the referendum, one of the decisions in front of the council, it's not the last council meeting, I went home and my head just hurt. It's some hard decisions, folks. Some really hard decisions ahead. We're starting to think about what services may need to be cut. And nobody wants that. But communities all over the state are in the same exact situation. Revenues just aren't what they were, the rising healthcare costs for employees, and of course, we want to pay all the employees an equitable salary. We've lost a staggering 17 or 18%. We had turnover, ridiculously high. Employees that basically just went to the next community over, doing the same job for a lot more money. So we just need to keep that in mind. But one of the things the city is also considering, though, is that they understand the need for better communication. They're thinking about a communications position. That is not yet something that has been decided. It's just something that is being discussed. So communications, sustainability, facilities management, what are the other positions? Fire department positions. So things like that. All right. Wonderful. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Any seconds? Bill, are you nodding second? All in favor of
Yeah, I
adjourning?
seconded my own motion. Yeah.
Second. Oh, it was you that motioned. I'm sorry. Okay, all in favor?
Yeah.
Second.
Hi.
Adjourned at 6:10. Thanks all. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Right.